I was in business for 40 years and learned as much by my mistakes as my successes. My goal in re-releasing our 1990 video series is to help you avoid those mistakes and take your successes to the next level. In 1987, my salon coordinator and I put on some very successful business seminars for salon owners in California. One of our clients, who was a business consultant and an educator, Lynn Baroff, was impressed with the way I ran my business and suggested putting the seminars on video so we could reach a much larger audience. He contacted award-winning video producer Mark Cloud to join our venture. The project was filmed, edited, and finally ready to go to market in 1990. We had a great review in Salon Today magazine and sold a lot of copies. In fact, last year I visited a local cosmetology school, and one of the teachers was using our series for her students 20 years later. In 1999, my husband and I sold the hair salon Skin and Retail Center in Diamond Bar and moved to San Jacinto. Last year, we pulled out the videos and we sat and watched all 8 hours in one afternoon. We both realized that 20 years later, the information on these videos are more valuable to business owners because of our latest economic downturn. It's so much more devastating than it was during the 90s. Through the internet, I was able to track down Mark Cloud. He agreed to update our original project, change it into DVDs, and add interviews with one of my former staff members. Judy and Jeff Parker own 3 of the most successful salon spas in California. Vaquera salons are in El Segundo, Del Amo, and now Chino Hills. Judy said she took everything she learned from me and kicked it up a notch. For many years, her husband Jeff was in management at Ralph's grocery store. His expertise has added to their success. Their interviews are in the Why We Know It Works section of each DVD. Over the past few years, I've helped business owners in other service retail industries and soon realized that the basics of management, marketing, employee relations, and facility efficiency are the same in every service retail business. In order to make sure that this was a good idea to reintroduce the series, I met numerous times with Dick Haddock, my SCORE counselor, which was through the Small Business Administration, and got his feedback. Then I gave my friend Coca, who was an ex-manager for a Fortune 500 company, the book to read, the updated companion book that goes along with the series, and both were very encouraging and said go for it. So this is why we've reintroduced them.
I originally got involved with this project because I had been working for Lynn Baroff as a freelance video producer and was real impressed with Lynn's knowledge about train-the-trainer programs and things like that. And then when meeting you, you were so knowledgeable about not just hair salon business, but business in general, and it seemed like a really good project to get involved with and a good investment of my time. When we originally did this, I was able to call in some favors and get the use of a TV studio that was a very nice one, pretty much state-of-the-art for the time. But times change, and what was state-of-the-art then is not state-of-the-art now. So the information on the videos, I think, is still fantastic. The production quality was fantastic for its day, but we're 20 years later, and we mastered everything on 3/4-inch videotape, which was industrial standard at the time. But it's barely above VHS, and great as it was for the time, it's a little fuzzy looking now. So I think it was important to let people know that that's why. You know, it wasn't that we were cutting corners. This was state of the art, you know, all those years ago. But the information is still great, and the presentations that you and Lynn and Kay gave are still fantastic, and it holds up very, very well in that sense. Well, for reasons that were completely out of our control, we never really got the mass distribution that I think this program deserved and still deserves. So when you got in touch with me, it's always sort of bothered me over the years. I've kept the master tapes and I've kept them stored properly, and every once in a while I would look at them and think, gosh, you know, I sure wish we had gotten these things out, because the information is really good, and I was proud of the production work that I did. And so the opportunity to send these out and have people finally get to look at them on a more mass distribution basis was very gratifying. The music on the original tapes was great for its day. I composed it, so I suppose I'm a little bit prejudiced, but it is definitely, there was an 80s sound that I'm sure we're all familiar with. And all these years later, the one thing that I did think it would be great to change would be the music. Everything else holds up just fine. The graphics are also a little bit 80s, but not as much as the music. And so my wife Paula, who is a very gifted musician and has a very wonderful solo CD out, graciously said that we could use her music for the theme music for this time. And I thought it was much more timeless than the music that I had originally done, which, as I say, was definitely rooted in the 80s. I was very pleasantly, not surprised, but I was very gratifying to see how Judy, whom we interviewed for the video all those years ago, has taken the information, and she and her husband have applied it to their salons today, and the salons are amazing. And I'm very happy to see how successful they've been. They're very nice people anyway, and so that was nice on that level. And yeah, it's very gratifying to know that to kind of get some validation, you know, independent validation that all the work we put in, and we put in months and months of work on this series, that it was very useful to people.
Jan and Kay are with me here, and Jan, I have to start out by talking a little bit about my own experience in consulting with small businesses and management. And what I have found is that there are seem to be five important reasons that people who own small businesses want to practice good management. This is what they have told me. The first reason is that it gives them a lot more control over their business. The second reason they've told me is that they feel more secure, both financially and emotionally, in running their own business when they practice good management techniques. The third reason, and this is a very important reason to anybody in business, is that good management techniques help you in profitability. They make your business quite a bit more profitable. Fourth reason that I've heard people say is that good management techniques help you provide better customer service. The fifth reason is a little bit more vague, but the way it's been described to me is that practicing good management seems to make running a business less aggravating, more enjoyable in work. Now, these are the five reasons that I've heard: the control, security, profitability, better customer service, and less aggravation. Now, have you found this to be the case in the salon industry as well?
Definitely, Lynn. When you have control over your business, you're an actor rather than a reactor. And you know what to do with your money, what to do with what kind of plans to make for the future. When you have a plan, then you have more security, and both financially, like you said, and emotionally. I think in our business, because we deal with people all the time, emotional security is probably even more important than the financial security. And also profitability is very important. When you know what's happening with your supply cost and exactly where they're going, you do become more profitable, where your break-even point is. Also, when you don't have to worry about finances, and when you have your salon running smoothly, then your staff can concentrate on the customers. So of course you're going to provide better customer service.